and we take away the possibilities of you could be this, you could be that, you could be all these things. And I never thought at 300 pounds I could be a Navy SEAL.
Wow.
So if my mind was shackled, me and you would never meet. There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be no book.
Right.
There'd be nothing. So what people understand is that they live for themselves, not knowing that you have the power within yourself to change millions of lives by facing life, by facing yourself. And through that, I would die never knowing that I had the power to change millions of lives.
Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mindset. And only then you'll be able to test and prove that God's will is perfect, good, and pleasing for you, man.
Some people never do what God knows you're capable of doing because we have choices. My biggest fear in life was to get to heaven and God look at me as I'm being judged. And I was some fat 300-pound guy like I used to be that still sprayed for cockroaches. That's okay. It's what you want to do. I didn't want to do that. And I made $1,000, a month. And I got to heaven and God laid out this chart in front of me. And I'm like, that's not me, man. He goes, that's who you were supposed to be. My biggest fear in life is that one day if I ever get judged by something, someone, some energy force, that I go up there and I failed the mission. Whatever force up there thought I was supposed to be some badass, and I went up there underachieved. I want that force up there that knows everything to be writing as I'm living.
Change isn't possible until you properly value conflict. So I just want you to understand something. In the spirit of God, we don't talk about change no more if you're not willing to deal with conflict in the way that God will have us to deal with conflict. I'm not telling you don't dream no more, don't have these dreams, hopes and goals. I'm not telling you that. But I'm telling you, if you're not gonna deal with conflict, then you just need to go ahead and just have a low self-esteem.
The praises of this world will fade away, man, but the love of God endures forever. By all means, make sure that God first is pleased with you, and all the rest is just bonus. Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So man, this is not the time to be anxious or worried. Cast all your anxieties on God because He cares for you. You better trust and believe that His angels will minister to you. His angels will protect you, and the crown of favor is upon your head. So take courage, have faith, and keep moving, man. Keep moving forward.
You will be someone who is never late. You will be someone who takes care of his men, gets to know them, and puts their needs before yours. You will be someone who does not quit in the face of adversity. You will be someone who takes charge and leads when no one else will. You will be detail-oriented, always vigilant. You will be aggressive in your actions but never lose your cool. You will have a sense of humor because sometimes that is all that can get you through the darkest hours. You will work hard and perform even when no one is watching. You will be creative and think outside the box even if it gets you in trouble. You are a rebel but not a mutineer. You are a jack of all trades and master of none.
Anything meaningful in life responds to consistency, man. If you're getting inconsistent results, it's because you're inconsistent in your actions.
It's called ownership, right? It's called ownership. And if you want to blame other people for the problem, and I say this all the time, if you don't take ownership of the problem's not going to get solved. So if you blame your parents for not having raised you in a disciplined environment, you're not going to solve that problem. You're looking at your parents saying, if you would have done a better job being more disciplined for me, I would be more disciplined now. So that means you can't do anything. The fact of the matter is it's wrong. You actually can do something, and it doesn't matter how your parents raised you and brought you up. You can have the discipline you need to decide to do it.
Yeah, we think that the absence of conflict is peace. It's peaceful. Ain't nobody saying nothing. We ain't getting into it, everybody. The absence of conflict is not peace. That's not peace. And that's what you want, though. That's what we worship. As long as we ain't getting into a fight, as long as we ain't arguing, as long as we all see things exactly the same, we good. We not good. We're not.
Hey man, you gotta understand that it's not your fault that you're panicking, that you have these anxieties and stress. It's just that the devil and this culture have convinced you that God has never done anything for you, and so he can't do nothing in this situation. But if you know within yourself that God delivered me 2 years ago from death, God delivered me 2 years ago from a struggle, then surely he can deliver me from this new one, man. Nobody can take away that assurance. If God be for me, what devil can be against me? Nobody can take away that assurance, man. Be real and heal. Know that only God heals. From dry bones you can get an even more beautiful life than before. Romans 8:31. Then what shall we say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? Forever, O Lord, your word is settled in heaven, and your faithfulness endures to all generation. Don't make other people's opinion of you your business. You just focus on being a little better than you were yesterday, pushing more boundaries, more limits, challenging yourself a little more than you did yesterday, man. As long as your values align with the fear of God, you just stay true to yourself. Be real and heal.